Welcome back to the UnderMike show. That's right. I'm kicking it off this week, although we probably shouldn't change anything that we've been doing because last week was amazing. I'll just get it up on the screen a while.
Whose idea was that to change something?
Mike, how are you feeling right now? Tell us how you're feeling. I got it up on the screen. What a damn week.
I feel okay. Yeah, it was a good one. I'm wishing I had that one loss. That was the one I played on Saturday.
Yep, you added a game, and that was the loss.
And that was probably the worst weather game of them all, which is why I did it. But yeah, that the 4 picks from Monday, I tweeted out Monday, I believe, around lunchtime for 3 Saturday games and 1
Rapid
Sunday
fire.
Game.
Boom, boom.
All hit. They all hit pretty easily, from what I remember.
It was a beautiful thing. I mean,
yeah.
I said I did not. I'll be honest. I did not parlay them. I thought about it.
Yeah.
I did play them all obviously straight, which was very nice. But I even said I should parlay these just in case the 4-0 comes. But you had so much. You gained like 15 points. We figured out or so, and that was as of the video, like line movement, and you just crushed it. So huge week.
You could have cashed out with a profit and not done anything, right?
Yeah, well,
before the game.
Yeah, that's not how I roll. I rather lose.
I wouldn't either, but it's
I'd rather lose than take a profit. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those 4 games, I called them and I'll put it up here. Last week, I called it the Mac Attack, even though there was a NFL game in there, which was the Browns-Niners, which was a NFL under that you hit. So let me put up here. We had the UnderMike Mac Attack 4-0, drops the late edition 4-1, 9-2 plus 7.35 units. I'm going to be chasing after you. That's going to be rough. Yeah. But I've come back and made it close before. So
you're holding your own here. So
yeah, my week not quite as good. 2-1. We'll put that up here. I bounced back though. I was 1-2 the week before. Profitable 8-5-1 plus 2.5 units. So last week we crushed Notre Dame, crushed USC. That was never in doubt. TCU, never in doubt. Crushed BYU. Kansas, that was unfortunate. That was a tight game. That could have went our way, but it wasn't deserved. Like, I don't say like, oh, we should have got the cover there. No, that was fine to be a loss, but it was a close game at least. Could have got that one, but we didn't. So 2-1, but I'll take that too. You stack up 2-1, and you don't have to work anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
So, and speaking of not having to work, let's put up the show overall. 17-7-1, 9.85 units. I mean, if you're $1,000 better, and there's plenty of them out there, that's $9,850 right in your pocket from doing nothing. So, and if you're a $10 better, it's almost $100 bill in your pocket, and you can put that on the next game. So, hey, that's not good money management, but you could do it.
So, Red Lobster or something.
Yeah. All you can eat shrimp right now, or there's something going on, I think. So let's get up here the little outlook and what's cooking after last week's. We didn't get any Monday. I was hanging by my phone Monday afternoon, hoping I would just see you going on some rampage. Sent out. I wanted to see like 13 plays.
Well, it was close. Like I said, I think I said it last week. There's just been one storm after the other for our weekends here in the Northeast. The Saturdays have not been too nice, and that's how it played out last week. Monday, I saw both the main models kind of line up. It was a wide area, and there was a lot of games that could have been played. I picked the best choices at the time, and they hit. This week, it was kind of similar. What we were looking at, following along Sunday, Monday, looking ahead. There is going to be a storm coming up the coast, coming from our west and then forming off the coast. And then it's just, but here the models were off. Like I mentioned, they were showing 2 different things, and it was just kind of hard to pinpoint what was what. So I waited a little bit. Some of these numbers did get bet down on a big swath of games. So yeah, just kind of been trying to watch the forecast here over the last day or two, and it seems more leaning towards the one way. And yeah, just right before this, kind of getting an updated forecast, and did come up with 3 plays here for the week.
All right. And these are being released on this show. However,
yes.
Last week the bulk of the plays were released. All of the plays were really released on Twitter because you're trying.
Yes.
This just worked out to be released on the show. But last week the key was following at UnderMike626 on Twitter, seeing what he tweeted, going to your sports book or whatever the bookies app, your DraftKings, your FanDuel, whatever it is, and just firing on those games. If you did that Monday afternoon, you got back 4 times as much as you put in at minimum. So,
yeah.
I'm excited. What do we got for this week? I'll put them up here.
Yeah. So first one is going to be Wisconsin at Illinois, under 42. That's at FanDuel or MGM right now. And that is minus
42 in the hook. Is it 42 or 42 and a half?
Under 42 and a half.
Okay.
We got it right. Maybe I can't read my writing here.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I have it under 42 and a half, minus 115 on the duel.
I think we got 42 on some sites. Yeah, so 42 and a half was FanDuel or MGM. Then next game, Central Michigan at Ball State again. Got another Ball State game in us here. That's under 41 on DraftKings. And then lastly, NFL Detroit at Baltimore, under 43. And I think most of the storm is going to be out of there by Sunday. We got some possibilities there. We got a game. We got Buffalo at New England. We got Washington at the Giants. And then the Eagles at night. So all in that same region. It looks like Baltimore is going to be slightly windier. Not by much. Just kind of seeing how everything plays out with the other games. But right now I'm laying off of those. And I meant... Please.
That would probably be the most popular part of the show.
Where was I? Oh yeah. So I went with Baltimore, and I mentioned to you, I just kind of like that play, just knowing Baltimore a little bit better. They're coming off the game in England. Where was it? London? I don't even know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's more overseas in a different time zone.
Yeah. So a lot of teams get a bye when they come back. I think Tennessee's on a bye. They don't. So I feel like they're going to be a team that's just going to be maybe a little bit sluggish. Offense not firing on all cylinders. They still got a good defense. Detroit's down some players. So I kind of like that play, even without the weather. So that's why I'm going to go with that game.
It's always nice to have multiple factors in your favor. Always helps. So yeah, that's I'll be firing on those for sure. Here are my picks for this week. I'll go over them here with you one by one real quick. So leading off, Texas minus 23, minus 110. Best line, Bet Rivers. And that's been moving. To be honest, when I first looked, this game was 22 or 22 and a half. Now I'm seeing 20. I'm seeing 23, 23 and a half. So get it before it gets to 24. It's Texas against Houston. Houston being the team last week that won on a Hail Mary against West Virginia. So I think Houston comes down a little bit from that high. They're facing a way different animal in Texas. And the way West Virginia moved the ball in Houston, I think Texas cuts through Houston. And I think because of the geography type deal with Texas and Houston, that Texas won't take it easy on them. So I think Texas really pounds Houston. I've got Alabama on here, minus 8.5, minus 105 at FanDuel. Alabama as at home against Tennessee. I think you're going to see people jumping on Tennessee here. The commoners, we're not. We're taking Alabama. Alabama's defense is still elite, in my opinion. And while the offense has struggled a little bit, I think that this Tennessee team is the type of team that's overcome by physicality. I like Alabama minus 8.5. Tennessee, Alabama last week. They only let up, I believe it was like 200 and some yards. They gave up 21 points to Arkansas, and people look at the points, but they only gave up 200 some yards. So I think the defense is still pretty elite, and I like Alabama here, minus the 8.5. Nebraska minus 11.5, minus 105 on FanDuel. This is they're against Northwestern, and I think you'll see some people line up to take a big spread against a team like Nebraska that's not been a winner for some time. But this is a really bad Northwestern team. Last week, or their last game, they faced Howard, and they beat Howard by 3. And that was just one guy. One guy named Howard scored 20. No.
Where is Howard? Do you know?
I don't know. In the South, I think. 23-20 against Howard. Nebraska's Matt Rule is bringing back slowly. Going to be bringing back these black shirts. I have confidence in Matt Rule. They just held Illinois to 1 yard per carry in the last game, and basically they force you pretty much, I believe, into passing. Northwestern can't throw the ball, so I think Nebraska's figuring it out. I think this is going to be like a 24-3, 24-7, 27-7, 27-10 type game. So Nebraska is my pick. And, last week you did a 4-pack initially and it worked out so well. So I'm doing a 4-pack. And my final pick is the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. -1, -110 at DraftKings. We're using all sorts of different books this week. Best to have a lot of options. Wake Forest -1, -110 against Pitt. Pitt coming off a gigantic victory over Louisville. Pitt had, I believe, 1 win on the season against a FCS team or some Sisters of the Poor, and they upset undefeated Louisville. And I think people will look at that and be, well, Wake Forest is garbage. And I'm not saying Wake Forest is good. They aren't good. But Pitt's going to travel on the road now to Wake, okay? And I think last week's game is a little bit misleading because Pitt only had 288 yards of offense against Louisville. It's not like they were lighting the world on fire. I know they switched quarterbacks. The former Penn State quarterback, Christian, it looks like my name is spelled Veyu, but I guess it's pronounced Vayer. He transferred from Penn State to Pitt, and he's now the starter. Mixed results, in my opinion, but wish them the best. They had 288 yards, so they didn't light the world on fire. I think Pitt crashes right back to earth. They did save, I think, Pat Narduzzi's job potentially with that win over Louisville. But if they tank the rest of the season, which I think they might, I think he could be gone. So I'm liking Wake Forest -1. That's my 4-pack. So
good.
Yeah, let's go 7-0.
A quick note on your Alabama game there. I did see a boost on one of the sites. I don't know if it was DraftKings or FanDuel or both. So there is a 50% boost on that game. Depending what your limits are.
Right. Then
definitely use that.
Take whatever boost you can if it's something that's offered to you. I've got the scroll here. Most important thing, like I said, follow UnderMike 626. I'm at the Real SCAV. You can follow me too. I'll retweet his stuff, but I follow him too, and I wait for stuff to come out and pounce on it. And I'm just got this information on these picks a second before you guys. I didn't have time to go to my book and fire away yet, but I'm going to fire, and hopefully they're not too mad when I crush them again. So
I'm feeling like, I don't know, there might be another pick coming out at some point. Okay. Might surprise some people.
Keeping your eye on a few things. All right, I like it.
Might surprise some people. We might go the other way with something. I don't know.
All right. We could see possibly an over come out, and I have a guess in the back of my head what it could possibly be, but I'm not positive. But there was one really, really, really low total out there, all-time tied for the all-time lowest in college football.
Was that 31.5? I saw.
Yes. Iowa, Minnesota.
Yeah,
I would not touch that.
There's actually going to be some wind in that game. That wind.
I wouldn't touch that one either way, to be honest, unless you tease it down to like 18.
I know. I can't. I can't do
I
anything
think it
with
might
that.
go over 18, although you could get beat 10-7 or 6-4, beat Penn State back in the day. That reminds me, speaking of Penn State, right here, where are we at? Right here, we are. Huge game this week. No picks given, official picks. I'll give an unofficial pick. I do think we are going to get over the hump and beat Ohio State. We're 4.5-point dogs.
Yeah.
I think we get it done. At least I hope we get it done, or I'm going to be upset, and I'm really going to need all of our picks to come through to have some money to cheer me up. So I got nothing else.
12 o'clock, right, on Saturday? So
12
do
noon.
not try to reach Sam. Do not try to talk to Sam. Do not try to call Sam. Do not try to knock on Sam's door.
100%.
But, yeah, we'll be rooting for him, so look forward to that. That's all I think I got.
I got nothing else. Let's have another big week.
All right, let's do it. See